Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the fearsome, the formidable, and the fearsome Talladega Super Speedway. I might have reused the same word twice. Here we are for the cutoff race for the first round of the Elite Belly Up Sports Cup Series, because we're all a glutton for punishment having to have it here. I'm joined with my broadcast partners, Zach Evans and Dave Huckleberry. Noted super speedway lover David Westergreen is designated for assignment down in the race as our in-race reporter. First of all, I'm going to come to you, Zach. It's Talladega. What's left to be said?
I mean, that says it all, right? You know, we've got this playoff picture. We come in with 16 drivers. We're going to leave with 10. Three of those spots are kind of already shored up between Tyler Fode, Ethan Stanley picking up wins earlier in this round, and Blake Reynolds has earned enough points that he is safe from any trouble. After that, it's anybody's ball game. You have some guys that are going to try to point their way in, some guys like Ethan Brell, Paul Mikolajczyk, who really need a win tonight to make the magic happen. No matter what, you know it's going to be dramatic because it is Talladega.
Absolutely, and it's going to be just absolute nervous times for all the drivers on that bubble because anything and everything will happen, and your season could very well be ended by something that is completely out of your control. So we move on to check how qualifications are going on for tonight's race. And take it away, Zach.
Well, here we look at our starting grid, and on the pole is none other than Paul Mikolajczyk. I mentioned he was one of those drivers needing a win tonight. He claims the 4D Raceware Pole Award for the evening. Joining him on the front row, Jonathan Cutlett making his 100th Belly Up Sports Cup Series start tonight. Carlos Acosta starting third, a great qualifying effort for him in car 02. Kyle Hanshaw will start in the fourth position. Tyler Fode is lined up fifth. After that, you have David Westergreen, mentioned normally my compadre here in the booth. He's in the driver's seat tonight. He'll start sixth. Justin Vandermarl is qualified seventh, followed by Gavin Higgins. Garrison Hogan, you see the red number there. He's another driver on the outside looking in, trying to get into that round of 10 with that red backdrop you see. He'll start ninth. Zach Novak starts in the 10th position. Jesse Racines qualifying 11th. To his outside is Ryan Gable, looking to pick up a win on what has been kind of a down season by his standards. Ethan Burrell will start 13th. Caleb McHumer joins him on the 7th row of the grid. Justin Wadsworth will start in the 15th position. He'll be joined on the 8th row by Scott Crump. Further back, you see Jaden Racines will start in the 17th position. David Hooker will roll off 18th. Sean Judson starting 19th. Matthew Weeks will start 20th tonight. Dustin Dewar rolling off from the 21st position. Gilberto Javier Gamera will start 22nd. Johnny Thomas lining up 23rd. And Chad Frankenfield, 5 points below the cutoff coming into tonight. He'll start 24th. Gavin Hibbs starting in the 25th position. Frank Fode rolling off 26th. Gerald Campbell has qualified 27th. Ryan Scholl 28th. Seth Rawls 29th. Michael Hossack 30th. Daniel Gore rolling off 31st. He is 4 points to the good. Last guy in on points right now as we start proceedings tonight. Connor Thompson 32nd. Blake Reynolds 33rd. Trey Holmes 34th. Corey Abbott starting 35th. Ray Bracey 36th. And then to round out our field, you see Mike Goodman rolling off 37th, Brent Jones 38th, Ethan Stanley 39th, Kurt Gibson 40th, Harrison Talon 41st, Ty McIntosh 42nd, and shotgun on the field, Mark Rebelis.
Alrighty, thank you, Zach. Those are our full field of combatants, as we are already halfway down the back straightaway. Who's your race pick for tonight there, Zach?
My race pick? Oh my goodness. Give me in his 100th start, win number 5 for Jonathan Cutlip.
It's a very good choice. I believe he won this race last season. What about you, Dave? Who's your choice?
Give me David Westergreen to win.
Oh, you're such a...
Yeah.
He's not even here. Calm down.
Hey, in that 990
right.
car, he's got to win with it.
All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and take our pole sitter, Mr. Bunch of Leathers. Let's see if he can get himself a bunch of dub here as the pace car gets ready to make that hard left-hand turn onto pit road. And Paul Mikolajczyk will lead us to the restart zone. And green means go. We are underway at Talladega. Even jump for our leaders here, as both lanes try to get organized and build up that energy as quick as possible.
And right now, it's the outside lane doing that. You see Jonathan Cutlip go out front in that yellow number 5 car. He's got Kyle Hanshaw behind him in that white and silver number 46, providing the push on that middle lane. That is... Who jumped down there? That is David Westergreen, of course, making a move. He'll get out front on that bottom lane with Gavin Higgins behind him.
Yeah, so far so good. As it looks like D West is going to lead this lap. New leader, David Westergreen, as we're already starting to go 3 wide here.
Yeah, that third lane you see building up. Ryan Gable leading it in the 0-1 car. I believe that was Caleb Humer that was behind him. There's not a lot of blue cars, so I shouldn't get them mixed up, but here we are all the same. That is indeed Caleb Humer, who I know I've been a broken record the last few weeks here on the broadcast, but I mean, talk about a guy who has really stepped up his game this season and found himself at the front of the field more often. Caleb Humer has definitely been, I would argue, the most improved driver across Elite here in 2025B. As now we see Ryan Gable to the lead at the end of lap 2.
Yeah, so far so good for Caleb. You saw him turn into a bowling ball there at Road America last week.
There was a lot of that going around.
Yeah. Hopefully Zach Novak does not get the same viewpoint he got of that incident. So we continue to be 3 wide. Scott Crump leading that third lane, but that third lane is starting to fall apart. Something fierce right now.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I feel like it's always a little bit of a guessing game early on in these super speedway races with the updates that come along on iRacing. You know, by the time we get back to Talladega from one season to the next, the drafting package has changed ever so slightly, or the weather's a little different, or there's just always some little twist that seems to change how these races play out.
Oh, we already got one spin! Oh, there it is! Not quite the big one, but there's our first big incident of the night.
They're still wrecking back there.
They sure are.
Somebody hit the inside wall a ton. Did not catch who that was further back in the field, but I mean just a huge hit. Well, Scott Crump was definitely involved. We see that it looks like he may have collected Ty McIntosh. We'll rewind this here and see exactly what set this off. Perhaps contact with Trey. Yeah, Trey Holmes got out of shape, and then there was some net coat there as well.
Yeah, down into Johnny. Oh, Ray Bracy just barely makes it. That'll be a nice inclusion on quick shifts. 66 just barely misses. Oh. And a little bit of side contact for Ty McIntosh. His bad luck continues.
So here we go further back, and there you see Gerald Campbell get into Harrison Talon. Now, who was it? Was it Johnny Thomas that hit the inside wall? Oh. So yeah, I believe it is Johnny Thomas. A little further up here, you see go hard left. I mean, just absolutely hammer the inside wall. That's got to be pretty significant damage on the 83 belly up sports car.
Well, it certainly a start for tonight's Talladega race. That is big damage for Johnny Thomas. I think that might be all she wrote.
Yeah, it looked like he had engine damage there. Yep. So that is a wrap for Johnny Thomas. Maybe take a quick break here, work in a commercial.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
We are back here at the Talladega Superspeedway with coverage of the Talladega 250. The cutoff race for the round of 16 in the Belly Up Sports Cup Series playoffs. You just saw that ad from Belly Up Sports, and unfortunately, we have the Belly Up Sports driver Johnny Thomas in the waiting room, the infield care center after that. Certainly not the start you hoped for there, Johnny.
Yeah, I figured I'd get out of the infield care center, come talk to you guys for once this year. Not the start I hoped for. Lap 4, I don't know what was going on. They called it net code, but yeah, it's simple. You probably shouldn't have cut down there and then come back up and run into Scott. Trey apologized, but it just sucks. Lap 4, it's it's just the way that this year's went for me. It's pretty exhausting.
Absolutely can understand that frustration. Before we let you go, who do you have to shout out on your car this week?
Belly Up Sports. I don't know how many races they'll be seeing me next year. So Belly Up Sports for sponsoring this Cup Series, and Hanshaw for letting me drive his race cars. I'll see you guys though. Thank you.
All right, well there you have it. An unfortunate break for Johnny Thomas. Early exit tonight. Still, I mean, gosh, almost 85 laps left in this thing, and already Johnny Thomas's night is done. Not what you want to see for sure. As you see, the field is doubled up for the 1 to green. Gavin Hibbs, currently your leader. Does not look like we had too many takers on pit road that time. Maybe a few guys topped off for fuel, but otherwise, outside of obviously a few guys who had damage from that incident, not a lot to speak of, and certainly none of these front runners you see.
Yeah, unfortunate for Johnny Thomas, but we are now finally 1 to green here. Your front row is Gavin Hibbs and Ryan Gable.
Like 25th on back, stopped, and of them.
So we see the pace car get ready to make that hard left-hand turn onto pit road. And Gavin Hibbs will lead us to the restart zone. And green means go. We're back underway at Talladega. A huge jump for Hibbs. He's going to be all by himself here in the lead of this race.
Well, he was, and they jumped up. I mean, he got enough of a lead that he was able to jump up in front of Ryan Gable. So that gets rid of that buffer that we see sometimes where people are able to, well.
Oh, yeah. Gavin jumps to the bottom. He's all by himself as he's got a couple car lengths before the next car in line gets up to him. Don't know how that one's going to work as we're already getting 3 wide here.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
oh, boy.
Already. I mean, especially you heard Johnny Thomas not really sure why we saw so much moving around this early in the race, and already a lot of that on this restart from the leaders. Now you have Gavin Higgins. Well, he just got hung out to dry on the bottom. Here comes Ryan Gable with help from David Westergreen in the middle. But Gavin Hibbs is up top, getting the push from Jonathan Cutlip, and it will be Hibbs that leads lap 8. It certainly seems like, I don't know how long you can make it work, but it definitely seems like at least for a half a lap, maybe a lap, that tandem seems to be very effective for these competitors tonight. 2 cars able to just push each other and get away from some of the traffic and build up a pretty big run.
Yeah, it's not quite the 2-car tandem days of 2011 and so on and so forth, but you could definitely work well with someone to get you where you need to go. It's just hard to say on how long you can do it. Tire temps is something you have to worry about. And we've seen it in other instances where the car pushing blows up, and that causes a huge calamity for everyone, unfortunately, behind the blowing up car. Cutlip continues to lead this race, controlling the middle lane as the third lane start to fall apart.
Cutlip now dropping to the bottom in front of David Tooker. Tooker had dropped down to the bottom and started to build some momentum there, so Jonathan Cutlip taking that away. I mean, you see, we're not even, obviously there's 94 laps in this race, but I mean, we are still more than 20 laps away from the end of the stage and handing out stage points. So I'm really surprised to see some of that aggression that we are seeing tonight. Is it with the yellow? Or is that left over from last week? Okay. 10-4. No yellow at the end of the stage.
Yeah, but knowing these races, we still might get our own stage caution
sure.
here.
For sure. Boy, a lot of movement there. You see from this aerial angle from Caleb McHumer, that third car in line on the inside, and that has definitely hurt the inside right now. You see David Tooker able to get out front. He drops to the bottom, and now the middle lane led by Jonathan Cutlip, even with losing David Tooker, still able to generate that momentum and keep moving forward.
Yeah, Tooker doing a good job. Oh, as you see, Gavel and Cutlip jump to the bottom. Fody taking over control of that outside, and Gable jumps back up in front of his Lake Norman teammate. Is Ryan Gable gonna lead this lap?
And you know, for Jonathan Cutlip, he's a guy that he isn't locked in, technically, mathematically, but he entered the night 50 points above the cut line. Like, there's a chance he could miss out, but boy, it would take some really dramatic circumstances. It's almost a kind of night where he can really try to pick up a win here, and certainly capable of doing that at Talladega. One of his strong suits is definitely super speedway racing. So I expect we'll see that 5 car near the front of the field a lot tonight. But, I mean, you look around him, it's a lot of similar situations. Tyler Fode already has a win. Ryan Gable no longer in the playoff picture. He's might as well race for the win. Same with Jaden Racines. So a lot of guys up here that are going to be going for broke. And that probably is adding to the aggression we're seeing early on in this race.
Absolutely. See Cutlip back to the race lead. Gable still holding. Go on, Zach.
I was just going to say, at least further back, we've seen it settle down to 2x2. I'm sure a lot of these guys deeper in the field are looking at the fuel numbers a little bit and riding, trying to gauge how far they can go on fuel, and are content to settle down for now.
See Fode now in control of that outside. Outside lane starting to fall apart there, Zach. Find that a bit surprising at this point in the run.
Yeah, it looks like they've gotten just a little bit disorganized here on the outside. Now you see Gavin Hibbs jumping up there, trying to reorganize it. Gerald Campbell has taken it to him all to himself to go to the third lane. It does not look like he has garnered any support. But now Scott Crump will jump up there. But already Gerald Campbell has fallen backwards. That just did not work out for him.
Yeah.
Got Crump to really lay the bumper to him. They got to make sure they don't lose the draft here.
Yeah, it's really easy to lose a draft here at Talladega with this next-gen draft package. Not as easy as another draft package here at Talladega.
We don't know about that.
Yeah, you still got to be really careful on that front.
Looks like they made it back, so they're good. Back up front, you see Gavin Hibbs leading the way. Tyler Fode behind him on this inside lane. I say that, of course, Tyler Fode jumps up to the middle lane. And Fode's got to get the run and the push from his Lake Norman teammate and lead. Lap 16.
Yeah, get a great shove from Gable here. Cutlip trying to do the same for Hibbs, and they're going to be equal coming down the back straightaway.
One guy you see, well, a couple of guys we'll talk about here creeping into the conversation, that outside lane, that second lane. Ethan Burrell and Dustin Dewar. Burrell in the 37 car, third in line into second lane. Dustin Dewar, fourth in line. For Burrell, he's 21 points out coming into tonight. He needs to make up some ground. He needs a good showing tonight, if not a win. Dustin Dewar, not in the playoff conversation, but certainly someone that seems to find his way to the front of the field plenty at the super speedways. A dark horse to consider tonight for sure.
Yeah, Dusty loves his super speedway racing, and here he is up in the fray. We see still no real change up in the front. It's continuing to be led by Cutlip and Fode.
You see that trio of Cutlip, Tooker, and Gable able to drop down to the bottom. Jaden Racimus will now try to lead that second lane. I think, yeah, just didn't get the help there in time, and that allowed Gable and Fody to jump in front of him. And now,
Oh, here we go. Yeah, Racimus jumps. Oh, and Fody being left behind. He is all alone.
Justin Vandermeer picks up Fody. At this point, he has already dropped 3 or 4 rows back. That'll allow Jaden Racimus and Ethan Burrell to drop down in front of him in that middle lane.
Yeah, these two are continuing to work incredibly well together. Oh, as I say that, Cutlip jumps out.
Seeing that a lot. The push the guy out there and then slingshot around him. Right now, that's what Jonathan Cutlip has done to take over the lead. If he can hang on, he will lead lap 20.
So far, not a whole lot of variances. Now Racimus jumps to the inside.
Racimus with the run, the push from Ethan Burrell and Tyler Fody.
Yeah, the Domino's car is giving a great shove. Now here comes Fody, and he's got Cutlip with him.
Right now, that middle lane has the momentum.
Yeah, the middle lane seems to be the place to go. You know, you constantly see the middle lane being the one driving everything as Fody elects to jump down.
Oh!
And he jumps back up. Oh, boy.
Fody will have the advantage coming down the backstretch this time. Oh, somebody...
Yeah, who's that down the...
Maybe Campbell? Yes. No, that is... Kurt Gibson. And, oh, now we've got a real...
Oh,
there's a problem
no.
there with... Oh!
And, oh, around goes Ray. Caution is out. Oh, did he hit the wall?
He absolutely hit the wall.
Oh.
We lost sight of it in the haulers there, but you can tell by the... I don't know what happens here with Michael Goody.
Yeah, he just phases into Goody.
And Ray tried to get locked up, but just the car did not stop in time and backed into the wall. I don't know how much damage there is there, but
Goody was saying that everybody disappeared for him.
That'll do it.
God, that looks weird as heck. That is heartbreaking for Ray.
And of course, even if in that situation for Goody, even if he stays in the throttle, if everybody has disappeared on his screen, then as far as his sim is concerned, he's not in the draft anymore. right? So that's what slowed that car so dramatically, and kind of created that stack up.
Well, this is gonna make the end of this stage even more interesting. Is we're gonna have what 5 laps to go, 4 or 5 laps to go when we go back green.
It's gonna be something like that, and I would. Gosh, as far as we've gone on this run, I have to wonder. Well, of course. I was going to say I imagine everybody will want fuel because you're either, if you stay out, even as tempting as the stage points may be, you're not going to be able to go very far on the green flag run afterwards without a pit stop. So of course, Chad Frankenfield was the first person to stay out, followed by his teammate Ryan Schuld. We also have Garrison Hogan and Zach Novak staying out here. Carlos Acosta won the race off pit road.
Huh.
Definitely looks like we got some different strategies here. You had some guys take tires, some guys just take fuel. 3 sets of tires in the pits tonight, but obviously tire wear not a huge factor at Talladega. But I'm a huge proponent, especially if you get a caution early in the race like this, of taking the tires while you have the opportunity, and it's not going to cost you a whole lot. You have plenty of time to make up whatever positions you lose with a longer pit stop here under yellow, because you never know if you're going to get a long green flag run and you won't get a chance to put on. Certainly if you pit under green, you're not taking tires at that point. So if you can, might as well take them here.
Yeah,
So,
and you never want to be unprepared because, you know, the moment that you're not really preparing for green flag pit stops or a long run, you're going to get that long run and you're going to be like, well, shucks.
and that's what I do not love. I mean, I understand the stage points, and certainly in Chad Frankenfield's case, as far as the playoff picture goes, that's what he's thinking about, being 5 points out. Garrison Hogan 11 points out. I certainly get the line of thinking here, but man, if you get an early caution, you're going to be all right. But just the risk reward here is. So I'm beginning to think Carlos Acosta won the race off pit road because he missed his pit box as we see him go back down pit road.
Yeah, that was kind of what I was anticipating was the thing for poor Carlos.
But yeah, it's going to be a very narrow window of opportunity for these guys who stayed out before. They have to pit for fuel, and if that happens, then they're going to need to work together to even have a shot of staying in this race with only 4 cars versus an entire pack. And I don't even think that's going to be enough. So we'll see how this works out.
Yes, sir.
There you look at the point standings as they look coming into tonight. Worth noting, Tyler Fode, Ethan Stanley with wins in this round. So you see them second and third on that list, but they are locked into the round of 10 by virtue of those wins. And Blake Reynolds leading the way as far as points go. He has earned enough points that mathematically he is locked into the round of 10.
And that's a huge relief because now he can just focus on trying to get a dub. And being able to have that ability to take a deep breath at this of all races, that's worth its weight in gold.
Absolutely. I'm sure if we get a point late in the race, he might be a wingman of sorts for whether it be Paul Mikolajczyk or Zach Novak to try and get them into the round of 10 as well.
Alright, as we see the pace car make the hard left-hand turn onto pit road. Chad Frankenfield will lead us to the restart zone. Green means go. We're back underway at Talladega. 4 laps to go to the end of the stage. Chad with a monster jump. As we hear Harry screaming about something. Meanwhile, Chad jumps to the bottom in front of his Little Eagle teammate Ryan Scholl, but he's got no help, and Novak jumps to the outside. Oh no, apparently Carlos might have money shifted.
Well, it just keeps getting worse for Carlos Acosta then.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he ended up spinning out because of that money shift. I'm sure either the rear end locked up or he got both. He was spinning out already, and then he got the tap from Britt Jones, who obviously had no time to react, would not have been expecting that to happen.
And there's the magic smoke. As here we go, we are 3 wide, all 3 lanes rolling.
Daniel Gore leading that middle lane. Jonathan Cutlip on the outside. Zach Novak on the inside.
As you see a good chunk of that 3rd lane jump down to the middle. Here's Cutlip back in front. Side by side off before with Zach Novak as we see a lot of jostling for position in the back. Middle lane, complete control, 2 laps to go in stage 1. Tucker jumps to the inside, and I don't know if that was by choice because he's going to be falling down. Look at all that. He has got a few rows before he gets help, but all of a sudden, the huge run for the inside, giving the bump to David Tucker, but it's still going to be the top 4 all by themselves. Oh, here we go. We got cars jumping down. Everyone follows except Cutlip. He's not able to jump in front of Higgins. He's falling back. But he's got D West right behind him. Big shove from the 9 into the 5. Or the 990 into the 5, rather. So here we go. 1 lap to go in stage 1. Cutlip still maintains the lead of this race. Continuing to get shoved. Oh no. Oh dear. This is not going to be good. Has Higgins. He's holding the lead for now. What does that 2nd lane have? Cutlip jumps to the 3rd lane. But they are still a few rows behind, being equal to Gavin Higgins. Higgins has Gordon McIntosh behind him. He's got 2 teammates to worry about. And they got another teammate leading that middle lane. Here they go. They jump out. Gore side by side with Higgins. Gore inches ahead. McIntosh trying to push him. Give him the best shove he can at the line. Daniel Gore wins stage 1. I think it might be Cutlip. I'm not sure. But that looks so close. Zach, what do you think?
I don't know. No, don't rewind. Stay live. Stay live.
It is showing Daniel Gore as the leader, so Danny G gets the stage win. Huge for his hopes of making it to the next round. So now things start to settle down just a bit.
Call actually did it. I thought it would show who led the last lap. Okay. Never mind.
Yeah, it's showing that he was the leader on the standings in Sim, so
it does show that he's had 1 lap left, so I won.
Well, there you go. Now, I gotta mention it while I have the chance. I don't know whatever the opposite of having your cake and eating it too is exactly what happened to guys like Chad Frankenfield there. Garrison Hogan got some stage points, sure. Zach Novak got some stage points. Ryan Schultz and Chad Frankenfield. Now we're just on the short end of the fuel mileage stick and got absolutely nothing to show for it in that stage.
Yeah, that is absolutely just frustrating for them now. They're going to need a caution or something to fall their way.
There you look at our biggest movers of the race. Ethan Stanley up 37 spots. He's in that second position right now. Mark Revelos has almost worked his way into, well, of course I say that something has happened to him, and he's about to fall off the biggest, he's about to move off the biggest movers board as soon as I say his name. See you, driver. That's how fast it happens to Talladega.
Meanwhile, some epic smack talk going on between Harrison Talon and our in-race reporter is, oh dear, David Tucker is blinking. That's not what you want to see at here of all places. As all the Toyotas gang up on Jonathan Cutlip, they drop down. Interesting conversation going on here. Just trying to listen to it. Is the pack is starting to string out and fall apart a bit. Everyone just kind of in shambles here.
Well, we've gotten past the racing for stage points part, and I'm sure everybody's starting to settle in and figure out where they're going to ride for a little bit. Some guys having a little more luck with that than others. Right now, Gavin Higgins all by his lonesome on that outside lane.
See, can Danny G get himself back up to the front? Continued to be pushed by his two teammates, Ty McIntosh and Dave Westergreen. So we see Reynolds jump to the outside of Cutlip. We are getting racy once again. Here comes the third lane. Cutlip now once again jumps to the outside. Just trading positions in the lead here. Looks like Novik jumps up to block the run from the 5. As things are starting to get pretty crazy in the back. I think we're nearly 4 wide at one point. Cutlip and Novak up to the third lane. That was weird. Once again, another change in position on that outside.
While we have a moment here, Carlos Acosta is in the infield care center, so let's bring in Carlos here and have a chat with him. Carlos, unfortunately, we kind of saw what happened there, but take us through from your perspective. Carlos?
All I can say is, can you guys hear me?
Yep, I got you now.
Yeah, all I can say is I done goofed. That
yeah.
was an embarrassing moment on my end. Like, how do you money shift this car? You paddle shift, so you already hit the wrong one. I have like a prompt to like sequential shifter on here, as in I have to physically shift and push back. Which that wasn't the issue. The issue is when I went to grab my shifter, I accidentally knocked it forward into first gear. And then when I went to quickly try to shift down, but by that point it was too late. It had already registered the shift, and it just killed the engine and sent me around. And that sucks, because I definitely wanted to do better than I did in Daytona. Because that didn't work out for me. That one wasn't my fault. I just got caught up in somebody else's issue and I finished second to last. And this one was my fault, and I'm gonna finish second to last. And it sucks. It was fun, somewhat. It's very, very hard to keep track position. I qualified third, when I don't even know where that came from. I never have speed. And immediately just that inside line is bad. It's so slow. I don't know what is causing it to be so slow. It's just incredibly slow. You can't do anything. The middle lane is dominant. The third lane is really good on restarts, but as you can see now, once everyone starts settling in, it's going to die off, and it's going to keep dying off until everyone can start committing to running that outside line again. So you either get lucky with the third lane, or you hope you get to the middle lane and move up before everyone realizes you have to hold that middle lane, and then everyone stops moving. So unfortunately, I messed up my own race this time, and I'm going to go home disappointed again.
All right, well, before we let you go, who do you have to shout out tonight, Carlos?
I shout out all my teammates. I shout out Dusty, Gerald, Goody. Thank you for letting me be on the team. Goody, I'm sorry, man. I burnt all of my super speedway luck in the Clash by winning the Open for the Clash. I won that one, and since then it's all just been downhill from there. So hopefully next season I get to have better luck. I'm gonna try to not win the opener for the Clash, so I can hopefully carry on some momentum onto the actual points races. I thank friends and family all for supporting me, and thank you guys for putting on a great show. And I've been seeing some of the fun things that Dave has been adding into the broadcast, and they look top tier.
Well, there you have it. Carlos, safe to see you out, and we'll see you again next week.
Yeah, see you guys. Good luck in the rest of the broadcast, guys.
All right, thank you. That is Carlos Acosta out of the running tonight after the money shift. And there you see it, getting the recon. Chad Frickenfield pitting in 2 laps, and that's kind of what I was concerned about with when they stayed out, looking for those stage points. We're 2 laps away from him, and I assume Ryan Schold and maybe 2 other guys, and anybody else they can con into pitting with them. I can't imagine it's going to be a lot of people.
Nope. And it's even more nerve-wracking for these two when you consider that if we do make it to green flag pit stops for the whole field, green flag pit stops always seem to significantly lower the odds of getting that late race caution, just because of the natural spread of the field from guys getting their pit stop done better than others, some making some mistakes. There's Novak bringing it in. Oh, I can imagine that he got, yep, that is rough. Dare I say, championship implications.
And I have to wonder, I get Garrison Hogan is up front in this deal, but what is he supposed to do now?
Yeah, he's on the,
Surely he knew Zach Novak was pitting, right? I mean, obviously it doesn't matter now that Zach Novak's been in the pits, but boy, and you feel like it certainly seems like the call didn't get to Chad or Ryan in a timely fashion either, because they were all locked up trying to make it to pit road following him also. I don't know, just you're already in a small enough group. You've got to be, even if it's crossing party lines or whatever, you've got to communicate and give yourself the best chance there, and this group just simply has not done that.
No, they're all kind of up a creek without a paddle now, as you see the field barreling down, and it's still going to be a minute before the field makes their next pit stop. So they're going to be a lap down here.
Which, if they can be said to be fortunate, is that they will go a lap down and be able to hang in this pack, which will help mitigate some of the losses that they would get if they were just, piddling around on their own trying to make up lap time. But obviously, the flip side of that is then at some point all of these guys are going to pit, and we'll see if they're able to blend back in a sufficient fashion or not. We'll have to wait and see on that if we do get that green flag run.
See, here comes a pack of cars, but unfortunately Zach is not going to be up to speed in time. He will not be able to jump onto that pack. Would have been the best lifeline you could have hoped for in Novak's shoes, but unfortunately he's just going to see the life preserver float across out of his reach.
And here's where we're going to see another stressful situation here, because at this point, Ryan Sheldon, Chad Frankenfield, obviously they have no chance of stopping this run. But there's nothing that's going to prevent them from trying to fight to stay on the lead lap once they're able to get up to speed. And the leaders aren't going to enjoy that. The leaders aren't going to like that at all. But you never know when a caution may come out. They have to fight to try and stay in that lead lap position or in the lucky dog position. Because ideally for them as teammates, one is on the lead lap and one is the lucky dog, if not both guys on the lead lap. So they've got to, unfortunately, and I hate to say this about Chad Frankenfield because we know he's always aggressive, but he kind of has to be here.
Yeah, and a sentence that the field probably doesn't want to hear, but so far they are in the pack, and we are about as calm as you can be here, just past the halfway point. Actually, I think we're just at the halfway point, which is a lot closer than I was expecting to be with my math. And Hogan, he's bringing it in. Oh, and he's gonna get some help with Jonathan Cutlip.
Well, that's interesting.
That is very interesting. I don't understand that at all there, Zach. Can you figure it out? Because
I mean, no. I mean, obviously for Cutlip, again, he's in a pretty safe spot, but it's, oh, well, okay, never mind. Good luck with all that. Speeding penalty for Jonathan Cutlip, or was it, no?
No, yeah.
Okay, your thing didn't work. All right.
Hate it when my thing doesn't work.
Yeah, I think they make a pill for that, but yeah, I was gonna say I didn't see a black flag because I looked when they both brought it down because they got close to get one, but they survived. So we are momentarily still 3 wide towards the back of this main pack. Because most of the front has single filed out here. we got a bit sketchy with our 2 leaders there. So, Zach, when do you think we are going to get the field to make their next pit stop?
Oh, you're asking me to do math. I don't like that at all. Yeah, I was just looking here. I mean, obviously those drivers that just now pitted did so around the mid 40 mark. They did get a couple of cautions to help buoy that, but I'd say the window is open anytime after lap. Shoot, in the next few laps, right? Maybe lap 55, lap 56, you would say the window is open. But I don't know if you're necessarily going to want the pit as soon as the window opens. I would imagine they could probably stretch it to somewhere in the neighborhood of 65-ish. I'm using a very broad number here based on how long that small group was able to go.
Interesting. And yeah, it looks like they are going to have to make another stop after this. If they aren't able to stretch it another, I don't know, 10 laps or so. We see a little bit of separation. Top 4 starting to pull away a smidge. They're starting to pull away more than a smidge. And here comes the pack about to swallow them up. Yeah, I believe you're right, Zach. We're going to hear pit stops within the next 4 or 5 laps from what we're hearing over the radio.
Well, like I say, that would put them in the window, I would think, because I feel like probably 40 laps is safe, if I had to guess, based on the limited amount of data we have. And so we should be in the window here. We'll just see how it all works out.
As there goes the field around the trio of Cutlip, Hogan, and Novak, who is a lap down. Although, is this going to be now 2 laps down for Zach Novak, or am I being silly? Nope, Zach Novak is now 2 laps down.
Because of that speeding penalty, he had to do the pass-through.
Yeah, if you're Novak, you're definitely praying that we go another 6-7 laps and then get that caution.
Okay, that's enough out of you.
Okay, I said that normally. It's not my problem if you wanted to think about that number. You know, the non-funny number. Oh, the internet has ruined us as we're 4 wide towards the middle of this field. Oh dear. Oh no. Oh boy. Well, we survived.
We did. We did. We survived both the 6-7 mention and the 4 wide.
It's just,
what could possibly go wrong?
Guy who had the big wobble just set the fastest lap.
Well, that makes sense.
Lewis is fast.
Let me out of the car, Cole.
As the 3 wide is continuing to charge up the energy. Ethan Burrell dragging them around.
You know, you were eavesdropping and we were closing in on pit stops. For people closing in on pit stops, there sure are a lot of people trying to make the third line work. You do see some people dropping to the bottom. The lowest line is definitely the longest line right now, but I don't know that everybody's on the same page on this pitting thing.
Nope. And that sure is going to make things interesting. As we see Scott Crump off of pit road. I think
Did he not have any friends?
it does not look like it.
Yikes.
1 is the loneliest number, and that's all I'm allowed to legally sing before we get DMCA'd.
Oh, I think we were safe.
I don't think any. Oh, we're again. Took her around. I think it. I think the cause of it might have been yeah. Is the chat going up in front of Ethan Burrell, and yeah,
That's not gonna be popular. No.
it is very much not. Yeah.
In other news, this tally will be appealed. It hasn't even been handed out yet, but I assure you it will be appealed.
And then Racimus hits Chad, goes down into Tooker. And then you saw someone drive down into David Westergreen, and I think knocks our in-race reporter up the track.
So who is this sideways? Because I thought it was Gavin Higgins, and it's not. There's a black car that's sideways. If we only just had one more black and red car, that would really, I think, help clear it up for me. So it must be behind this group. Because there's... Yep, there it is. Oh, no.
Was it?
No, that's Tooker. Who am I looking at? Who did I see? Who's...
Your guess is as good as mine.
I guess it's not a black car. It's that... No, who was that was just sideways? We were just looking at the car sideways.
Connor Thompson, maybe?
Connor Thompson is that one. That one right there. No, that's Tooker. I don't know. Tally 15, Chad, not clear. No, it's definitely not Connor Thompson. I was closer to the wreck than he was.
Right there.
So that's Tooker.
That's Tooker.
I guess that was Tooker. Okay. Who's this up here? Literally the next car in line. On the apron.
Is that D West?
Agony.
Ah, okay.
Right, let's see what
It was D West.
D West.
Okay.
Yep, let's.
Okay. D West chiming in to say he only has 18 seconds of damage.
Awesome. We're going to see our in-race reporter continue to try to fight for this win. Yeah, pretty lucky escape, all things considered.
So we saw the tally was assigned to Chad Franco. Do we need to get any more breaks in here, Dave, or are we?
Yeah, we probably ought to get a couple in.
All right. Let's do that.
Here we go. Now let's hear about Blue Egg Marketing. Rev up your business with Blue Egg, your marketing pick. Turbocharge your lead generation with experienced drivers that can navigate the competitive track to connecting with your customers. With Blue Egg, you're always in the pole position, leading your brand toward victory lane. Don't spin your wheels, accelerate success with Blue Egg, fueling small businesses to win big. All right, we heard there from Blue Egg Marketing. Also, our other premier sponsor, Worldwide Technology Raceway. Worldwide Technology Raceway is a motorsport racing facility in Madison, Illinois, just east of Missouri, close to the Gateway Arch. Features a 1.25-mile oval that hosts the NASCAR Cup Series, NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, and the NTT. A 2-mile infield road course used by Speed SCCA and Port America. A 1/4-mile NHRA sanctioned drag strip that hosts the annual NHRA Mission Foods Drag Racing West Nationals event, and the Kartplex, state-of-the-art karting facility. Zach, you can fill me in on what the NHRA is going to be called next year.
As far as I know, we're still rocking the
Mission Foods? Okay.
Still rocking
Yeah,
the Mission Foods.
That one changes kind of frequently.
It's been a couple of years.
Xfinity is going to be O'Reilly, I learned.
O'Reilly. Yes.
Craftsman back for trucks.
Yes.
NTT, I believe. Not back for
You would know better than I would on that one.
I haven't heard anything about that.
or out of season.
I'm just wondering if, there was the story from Competition Plus over the weekend, or I guess before the weekend, technically, that we might be seeing a return to Rockingham for NHRA next year. Nothing confirmed yet, but that'd be interesting for me, if nobody else.
I don't know if it would make sense just because they already have 2 Charlotte races.
Not anymore. We lost one of the Charlotte races.
Okay, then it makes a lot more sense now.
Yes. Anyways.
Yep, as we see the pace car make the hard left-hand turn onto pit road, Scott Crump will lead us to the restart zone. Green means go. We're back underway at Talladega. Man, things have really flipped for Scott Crump here. He went from all by himself staring down a lap down to now in front, in control of this race, or as about as much control as you can have at a Talladega race.
By his best friend.
Here comes. Meanwhile, Frank Fody getting a good shove. Gable trying to push that 41 car along. As here comes the third lane.
And this is where we're going to see it start to get a little goofy again. You know, everybody's got to be good on fuel. There are no more stage points on the line. We're still, 32 laps out from closing time, but people are going to start getting a little antsier and a little more aggressive.
Especially with how hard it is to pass here, already being 3 wide. The middle lane's starting to fall apart here. Inside lane pushing ahead is, oh, that's getting a bit hairy. Seth Rollins has front end damage. That's not going to be helping him.
No, that's definitely not what he wants to see. I mean, you might be able to manage it a little bit if you find a good dance partner and can stay in the draft, but you definitely don't want to find yourself in a position where you're having to lead a group with that nose damage.
As here comes the middle lane, and here comes Gable trying to take the lead over Fody. Hossack shoving along the 0-1. Hossack shoves Gable all the way out. Oh, Ethan Stanley has dropped. Nothing he needs to worry about thanks to his win last week.
Boy, yeah, that's definitely huge now.
Well, is they're really jockeying for position. Got a few people jumping lanes, jumping up, jumping down, jumping up all over town. As the inside lane all by itself for about 8 rows until Jane Racimus jumps to the outside. And just like that, we are side by side for the lead once again.
Daniel Gore leading that inside lane. Gavin Hibbs on the outside lane. Both playoff guys, both kind of in that cutoff battle coming into tonight.
Meanwhile, I think we're having a very interesting discussion over candy, quote unquote, right now, which is not what I expected to be hearing over radio chat.
Now you say
Meanwhile,
quote unquote.
That candy's
like a euphemism?
That candy's illegal in my state.
it's some special candy.
Okay, so we're not talking about what we picked up over the weekend trick-or-treating.
No, I don't know if we're allowed to talk about this candy on air, so that's why I'm just calling it candy.
You know, there was a really easy solution to that problem.
Don't mention it at all.
But it's an interesting talking point.
And we got a good 30 seconds out of it.
Yeah,
We sure did.
we clicked off.
Corey
about
Abbott's
half
going to be
a lot.
leading. I was about to say, Corey Abbott's going to be leading for a good 30 seconds, but I can already tell Gavin Hibbs is setting you up for the old, okay, now you see me, now you don't. And here he goes. Sorry, Corey.
Yeah, but good to see Corey Abbott up there. It's been a minute since I've at least seen him up towards the front. So get some good airtime for that 21. Zach Novak just screeched over the radio. Novak is still 1 lap down. He's battling Chad Frankenfield for the lucky dog spot.
Well, that's a good place to be.
And now Gavin Hibbs takes his turn to get back up to the front. Hibbs getting a great shove from Corey Abbott behind. He's see Caleb Procurement. He's up the front now, leading the outside. And Corey Abbott, it's now his turn to jump to the outside and take the lead back. It's almost like clockwork, isn't it, Zach?
It's definitely a rhythm they've developed up front there. Where are we closing in on here?
Can't quite tell yet. Ethan Stanley, I believe.
Ah, so he's
Ethan.
back on track after blinking out.
Yup. Though that is terrifying if you're Ethan Stanley, because we did see him have quite a few connection issues earlier in the season, and while it's not going to cost him here since he is locked into the next round, you don't want this to be a recurring issue again.
No, for sure.
And there isn't another road course left on the schedule for this season, is there?
No. No, we're all out of road courses. Round of 10 is Nashville Super Speedway, Phoenix Raceway, and Richmond Raceway, excuse me, and the finale is Chicagoland Speedway for 400 miles, 267 laps on December 10th.
Yeah, so no golden ticket, quote unquote, for Ethan Stanley if it does happen to him again in the round of 10. And now Ethan is just actually disconnected on his own and is packing up the 91 and calling it a night. As Pecumer and Abbott continue to battle side by side.
So far, it seems like it's been mostly the middle and bottom lanes. The top lane, there's been 3 wide pretty much all of this run, but it just hasn't been able to generate enough momentum to get to the front.
No, it hasn't. I feel like it is going to be a bit of a moot point as when we get to, I'd say, 15 laps to go or so, we're going to see a lot more guys jumping up to that third lane who kind of have nothing to lose and just have to make something happen. But as we see, it's, sheesh, I don't know, 13 rows of just 2x2, almost completely gone here is that third lane. Unfortunately, Seth Rawls is in that third lane. That's putting him in kind of the danger zone of keeping his season alive into the round of 10. Oh,
Where's Caleb going?
I don't know. Where's Hibbs
Real
going?
lead, I guess.
Yeah. Hibbs jumped up to the outside to keep Pecumer from going around him, and it's gonna work. As now there goes Pecumer. He's getting hung out to dry all by himself.
That was
See a
certainly
few
my
cars.
concern.
Yeah, as you see a few cars jumping out. Oh, Pecumer gonna jump down in front of his Lake Norman teammate Tyler Fody. Gave him a lane, but oh boy, that was nervous times for everyone. Everyone voicing their dismay and terror in what almost transpired with that move. So now Gavin Hibbs finds himself second car inside, as it's Abbott and Gable's turns to be up at the front once again. Now we see the third lane coming.
Yeah, and it's got Scott Crump in front of it now, who obviously involved in our first caution of the night, has bounced back to get into the top 10 here.
Ooh. See, he's getting a massive shove from Reynolds, but it was a bit loosey-goosey. Here comes Frank jumping. Oh, dear. So now, for the first time in some time, the third lane is inching ahead of the middle. So we're under 20 to go here at Talladega.
Crump drops down.
Oy. I think someone blinked towards the back. Just honestly watching everything. Oh no!
That's
Oh
disgusting.
no!
I don't like
Oh
that at all.
dear God! And we're still four.
Four
We're
wide.
still four. We're still four.
Oh. All right.
We survived
They made it
somehow.
through. They made it work. I didn't like it at all, but they made it work.
Oh, don't worry, Zach. This is just going to be a preview. We're going to see way more of that here in another few laps.
Yeah, it's crunch time now for sure. Here comes Matthew Weeks. In true Matthew Weeks fashion, here it is. It's the end of the race, so now it's time to start mentioning his name.
Yes, sir. Mr. Where the heck did he come from? He's taken over the lead. Jumps down. He's going to get some help. Wadsworth going to jump down, but Gable's going to push back ahead.
A couple of those Lake Norman teammates now 1-2.
And now, here comes Michael Hossack back to the front. And now Crump jumps to the inside. Oh, a little bit of a wiggle from Gable. We're going to be coming to just 15 laps to go.
You can
see
see
the third lane.
car. Yeah.
Yeah, third lane trying to get its momentum back. Can build up the run for a few laps, but just does not seem like anyone can really sustain it.
Now, I will say, right now, you are seeing the third lane creep a little bit further down the track and get a little bit closer, start dragging in more of that side draft instead of leaving that space, leaving that room for error and for wiggle and for opportunity for things to go wrong. That's probably going to help that outside lane move faster, but again, it does take away that margin for error if somebody gets out of shape or gets a bad push in this pack.
Indeed, and you see how dangerous that is with how much a lot of these cars are moving around here in the draft. And that safety gap is all gone, and that's what's helping the third lane get up there. You see some aggressive shoves. McHumor shoving took her out to the front. David Tucker was caught up in that wreck, and here he is back up in the front. See the Lake Norman teammates, Pecumer and Fody.
4 wide.
Oh, no. And we backed out of it. Yay!
Give it time.
Is catching up to lap car. Is that Ryan Schold or is that Chad?
Oh! Took her almost through the block there on Gable. Couldn't quite get there.
Okay,
So that
there's
must be
Chad.
Schold.
So it, yep. This is going to make things even more interesting than it already is, as there goes the field past the 4. Oh, we're going to be 4 once again. See someone going low, jumping out of that. I think it's Brett Jones saying, nope, I choose life. And there we go. We made it. We survived this time. Oh, Cullip up into the wall. We're 4 again. Well, once again, we stay green after that. About 4 or 5 car breakaway here up in the front. Everything is all jumbled up. Who's going to take control of these lanes? Next time by, it's going to be 10 laps to go here at Dega.
I mean, you look at that scoring pylon on the left-hand side, there were a lot of blue numbers in the top 10. Guys that aren't in the playoff conversation, guys that are just trying to win.
I think Weeks might have had an issue with Goody. Here we are watching the replay, and oh, and he also got tagged by Frank Fody for good measure. So we see a couple of the racecraft cars bringing it down. Oh, Pecumer hard into the inside wall. We stay green, but the 59 is demolished. Pecumer still sitting. He was up in front, getting pushed by his teammate, and oh, that is unfortunate.
Yeah, terrible break there for Caleb Pecumer, who was having such a good run tonight.
Yeah, that is heartbreaking. Lake Norman on Lake Norman violence. As now it's Tyler Fody leading this race. It's got an all Lake Norman front row here, Fody and Crump. And it's got his Gable behind. Ty McIntosh shoving the 40 forward. See, still no great charges from the other 2 lines. Gable jumps up. Dewart follows him. saw Gerald maybe try to do a bit of a slide draft. He jumps down to take his spot in the inside back. Now here comes Dusty. Door up in front of this stacked field. They are battling hard as they got the racecraft cars about to be lapped once again. Oh, man. See Goody getting the tally from his incident with Weeks as we are 3 wide. Oh, my goodness gracious. No speed for the middle. Justin Vandermarl getting shoved out in front of that outside lane as here comes Fody Door. And there they go, past the lap cars.
They gotta get around these guys.
Oh, and Vandermarl getting absolutely left out to dry. 4 wide as Justin gets set backwards. Disorganization once again as Tyler Fody is leading this race as we got 5 laps to go at Talladega. McIntosh looking to send it 3. Crump tries to block, but it's not going to be in time. Trey Holmes staying up by the wall, trying to stay out of the way of this Hornet's nest. Oh, this is going to be really tough. Everyone doing their best, and oh, Trey in the wall. He's doing what he can. Oh, and there's the wreck. See, Abbott, Hossack, Cutlip, Bracey involved. Frank Footy involved. Mikolajczyk. Burrell. Oh, boy.
And see, I don't. We'll see kind of what happens here. Obviously, they get 4 or 5 wide at this point. Every conversation I've ever had with anybody about anything when it comes to negotiating around lap traffic in this situation, I always hear, well, we want them up high because then we can stay on the bottom or in the middle and they'll be out of the way. And at no point are any of these guys in the top 5 actually leaving Trey Holmes any room because they're too busy in a, let's just say, a contest with each other to side draft and stay up front. And I feel like obviously the wreck's got to happen further back, but that kind of just starts with the leaders just not really working well together at all and doing some really unnecessary. I know it's 5 laps to go, but just I don't feel like any of that was necessary from the guys up front.
Nope. Trey did everything he could and everything he needed to do to stay out of the way, and that's on everyone else who just didn't take the warning. You know, you're already going to be 4 wide. There's no need to stick it 5 wide as we're on board with Kurt Gibson. Oh, gets turned into the 5 of Cutlip. See, a bunch of letters, our pole sitter spinning up. And that's about as well as you could hope for the 77. Well, how is this gonna shake up the playoff standings? See quite a few on pit road.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see, who comes out of this. I mean, we didn't even really get to touch on because we barely got done watching the Matthew Weeks replay and we had the Caleb Pecumra incident, but that's one that has huge playoff implications. He came in 29 points to the good, but now he's in line to finish 38th. So he's going to need some of these guys trying to fight their way in to also run into trouble, and certainly probably a couple of them did there in that incident.
Yeah, you see all the demolished race cars sitting on pit road. Alrighty, well, it's the words everyone wants to hear at a restrictor plate track. Green, white, checkered.
So this is going to be a proper overtime here, right? We are not restarting. Well, no, we're not even doubled up, so we're definitely not restarting on lap 93 here.
Correct.
So I'll do my spiel here. If this is your first time tuning into the Belly Up Sports Cup Series or an iRacing broadcast, 3 attempts at the green-white checkered overtime finish. If we get a caution on the first lap of overtime, we will re-rack them, try it again. Once the white flag is displayed, you cannot throw a caution on iRacing no matter how hard you want to. So once the white flag is displayed, it is a race to the checkered flag. It doesn't matter if we have 40 cars upside down and on fire. It'll be get back to the finish line, and whoever does that first wins.
Sir, take a look at our players. The top 5, Tyler Fody, Ryan Gable, Ty McIntosh, Scott Grump, and David Westergreen. Bunch of Lake Norman versus a few South Shore here. So,
Oh, hey, Brent Jones.
Yeah,
Of
great
course.
run for Brent.
I remember, man, you go back to the one and only time I've won here in Elite, that truck race at Talladega. I mean, they were talking about it then. It's still just as true now. You get to the something about you get to the end of these super speedway races. You may not talk about them at any point for 200 miles. I think about the only time we talked about Brent Jones was when he had the misfortune of restarting behind Carlos Acosta on his money shift. But here we are. He's 12th for the overtime restart.
Yeah.
Tally on somebody. Who is the tally on? David Westergreen.
Huh. That's interesting because I don't even think we pointed out D West at all on that.
I guess he drove into Trey Holmes, who was already against the wall, but then they wrecked behind him. I don't know. Whatever. We're about to go green.
Yeah. Pace car makes a hard left-hand turn on the pit road. Tyler Fody will lead us to the restart zone. Green means go. We're back underway. 2 laps to go here at Talladega. And there we go. We got all 3 Lake Norman cars nose to tail up on that middle lane. D West just trying to push them clear before he could jump down in front of his teammate. McIntosh getting shoved by Tooker. Oh, man. Oh, boy. D West looks like he's starting to get hung out here.
He's about to get picked up by some teammates, though.
Yeah, and here comes McIntosh pushing Rawls, but Seth has that front end damage. I don't know if that's the play here, but here we go. White flag, 1 lap to go at Talladega. Crump jumps to the outside. trying to get the push. Here comes Fody throwing the block on Crump. Gable getting shoved by Door. Fody not going to be able to throw the block on the 01. Fody out front in control. The inside line falling apart. Oh, we're wrecking to the back. Crump shoving Fody, and we got a big wreck going into turn 3. Crump pushing Fody. See, looking for the run off of turn 4. Gerald leading the outside lane. Is he going to get the shove he needs? Fody throws the block on Crump. Crump jumps to the outside. Not enough. Tyler Fody wins at Talladega. Oh, boy. Tyler Fody getting it done. His second win of the season, second win of the round. Oh, and now, oh boy, now we gotta take a look in who is involved in these wrecks. Who do we break out the playoff implications for?
Oh, so there's somebody.
Oh,
Harry
yeah.
blinked out. So that's what set that off, and then there was a bump to Bracy and Rebelus that piles up this group of drivers. You see Burrell in it.
Oh.
Outlip in it.
See, is on board with Harry. See the look on his car when he kind of had his connection issues. You see, he's blinking already. Oh, and he's back, and there he goes, phasing through Burrell.
Yeah, I mean, that just killed the run he had.
Yeah,
well,
they got lucky until they didn't.
No, very
Gavin survived pretty well. Unfortunately, the Burrell, that Domino's pizza box, has got some few dings.
Oh, even if he doesn't end up in the wrecks, he needed that run to keep going for him to have. I mean, he needed to win pretty much. He needed that run to keep going. As soon as Harry blinked out, it really didn't matter if he wrecked or not at that point.
As Tyler Fody has just about completed his burnouts. And we wait for the top 3 to hop into the waiting room, and we also wait to hear the final points positions and who's going to be the 10 moving on to the next round. Here we go. Here are the final results from 250 miles at Talladega. Your race winner, of course, Tyler Fody from Scott Crump and Seth Rawls. Ryan Gable and Gerald Campbell, your top 5. Dustin Dorr, David Tooker, Ty McIntosh, Brent Jones, and Daniel Gore round out the top 10. Gilberto Javier Gomera, David Westergreen are in race reporter, Frank Fody, Paul Mikolajczyk, and Jaden Racimus, the top 15. Kyle Hanshaw, Sean Judson, and Gavin Higgins round out the first page. Page number 2 is Harrison Talon and Ray Bracy rounding out the top 20. Garrison Hogan, Michael Hosick, Chad Frankenfield, Gavin Hibbs, and Justin Vandermarl, top 25. Corey Abbott, Justin Wadsworth, Mark Rubilis, Ethan Burrell, Connor Thompson, the top 30. Cutlip, Reynolds, Ryan Schold, Zach Novak, Trey Holmes, and Kurt Gibson rounding out the second page. And then Mike Goodman, Matthew Weeks, and Caleb Percumer rounding out the field. Alrighty, we got our top 3 in the waiting room, and we'll go ahead and get started with our third place finisher of Seth Rawls.
You guys did good though. I thought you were gonna. I was telling Scott. I thought you were gonna.
Seth,
What's
James
up?
in the booth. You got a copy.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I was talking to Scott and Tyler there.
Well, that was a heck of a run there. You were able to survive all the chaos pretty well. Just take us through that final lap from your eyes.
Yeah, that was crazy again. Honestly, I wish it was a skill, but I feel like it's mostly just luck at this point. Obviously 3 started there 14th, and just kind of took the middle there until I needed to go bottom there in front of the 01. Just because I knew if you're in middle, you're just so up for grabs for anyone else. So once I got bottom, I was just like, all right. And I was telling Gilberto, I'm like, I don't need to win this race to get in. I think I made it in. I'm pretty sure. Like I'm almost 99% sure I'm in. With Novak being 36. So yeah, overall, this was like, you know what? If I get a win, I get a win. If not, but I was telling Fody and Crump there, if they threw it away there, I was right there for the snatching. So, but great win by them. Good teamwork there. But yeah, and obviously huge thanks to Gilberto for the help all night. Connor as well. We weren't in the same call, but I know there's 30 cars up there somewhere. But Gilberto was a huge help always on my bumper and working together trying to get that third line going earlier. But yeah, I talked a lot. Sorry.
Like you say, I think you're absolutely right. I don't want to guarantee it until we see the numbers, but I would say you're probably good for the next round with this third place finish. Looking at the lineup of tracks for this next round, Nashville Superspeedway, Phoenix, Richmond, how do you feel going into the round of 10?
Wow, it's a lot of like not fast tracks. I feel like maybe Nashville, but yeah, honestly I'm not sure how I feel. I haven't raced at a lot of those tracks in a while, in the Cup car especially. Richmond's probably my worst track out of all those. I'm probably most excited for Phoenix. But honestly, I always tell myself and obviously the team, once you're in the playoffs, anything can happen. Your house money at that point. The goal obviously was to make the playoffs, get the entry fee back, make a little change to your pocket. But once I'm in it, you're in it. Who knows what happens? Maybe the next round, the Grand National Series should be good in the series. Truck Series was a rough start on last Sunday, but who knows? Anything can happen in the playoffs. That's the fun of it. Obviously, I know NASCAR is probably changing their system soon, but I'll take advantage of it for someone who's not as fast week to week, but puts a lot of effort in, puts a lot of work in on the track.
All right.
I'm down on a cold, and I have to take some water. Oh my god.
Well, take a sip of that water, buddy, and then go ahead and give out any shout outs, sponsor plugs, and thank yous you have in order.
Yeah, honestly, thank you to Hall's Cough and Throat Relief. Got me through this race. Recommend the product. Please sponsor me. Obviously my real sponsor, Taylor Digital Solutions. Excited to share Taylor this video. She was super happy that we won at Daytona. Running this thing up front is awesome. Obviously just the guys at Shift Esports. Gilberto, and Connor in this series. Josh obviously is visiting his grandmother. Obviously prayers to her. Hope she gets better. But yeah, overall I think it's a great team. The momentum's high. Just run with it and put it all on black.
Alrighty, well, we appreciate you, Seth, and hopefully we're talking to you again next week.
Hopefully. See you guys.
All right, now time to move on to our runner-up, Scott Crump. Scott, James in the booth, you got a copy?
Yeah, 10-4, I got a copy.
Alrighty, well, that was a heck of a final lap there. You almost got him at the line. What was your plan of attack there when we took the white flag?
Mainly just stay with them 1-2 or whatever, and hopefully we break away enough and just needed to finish because just didn't need a wreck out. I think I was good on points, but just be pretty cautious that don't wreck there and end up somewhere in the back, as normally happens on the white flag here.
Yeah, it was a great recovery from you. You know, we saw you kind of pit by yourself there. It was kind of a up and down day early on, but the caution came out at a perfect time for you, which got you all that track position back and put you up in the fray.
Yeah, definitely lucked out there with that caution. Definitely caught a break. I tried to take a little less fuel to get closer to the front, try and get some stage points to help out the point situation and guarantee me into the next round. And that didn't work out either, but ended up catching a big break with that caution coming out. I think the rest of the field, I had like 5 or 6 laps left before they pit. So, yeah, got lucky really there.
Zach, you have anything to add?
Well, I mean, you touched on it. I think you again waiting on official word, but I would almost certainly believe you are good to the next round. And of course, we know for certain one track in the next round you're looking forward to, but with Nashville, Phoenix, Richmond coming up, how do you feel going into this round of 10?
I'm really pumped about this round. I knew if I can get to this round, I can really make a push and hopefully either get a win and get into that Final Four in Chicagoland where I won before too.
And before we let you go, who do you have to shout out and thank on this runner-up finish tonight?
I get a shout out to Blue Egg Marketing, Stay Tuned Sports Podcast, JD Designs, everybody at Lake Norman. We ran well as a team tonight, and we were all there at the end fighting. See, Fody, a shout out to him for winning. Gable was right there at the end too, and then Caleb was fighting strong, and he got caught up in that one wreck. And Fody was up toward the fronts all night too. Frank there. Yeah, I also get a shout out to my grandfather watching. Chad putting it on the league. James and Zach, y'all do a nice job up in the booth and Huck putting on the show. Yeah, look forward to next round, and hopefully we can make it happen.
Alrighty, well, we appreciate you, Scott, and hopefully we're talking to you again next week.
All right, sounds good.
All right, now time to talk to the man of the hour, Tyler Fody. Tyler, James in the booth, you got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, another race, another win. How about it? What was going through your mind as we took the white?
Yeah, how about it? I don't know, dude. I knew for at least the first lap, with 2 to go, we were going to be in line there with the teammates, Scott and Gavel. But once the white came out, it got real quiet on the Discord, so it was all about just mirror driving at that point and watching the lines. Yeah, just was real happy to even be in that position in the first place. All the guys did great tonight to get us up there, and then yeah, last lap was just trying to mirror drive it all the way through and saw the lines coming, and yeah, Scott was making a little bit of a move there, but I mean, props to Scott. He could have made a move way earlier and killed both our runs, but he played the team game about as long as he could there. So really, I owe it all to Scott for this one. But yeah, just happy to be able to hold the wheel straight coming through the trial over there. It was getting a little dicey.
Anything you have to add, Zach?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we saw it there on the screen there briefly. 99th win across all of the Elite Series. Also 24th Belly Up Sports Cup Series win. So the next one, no matter how you slice it, it is a big one, Tyler. But obviously, there's the championship implications in the next 4 races as well. How big would it be to get the 25th Cup win here in this round of 10 and move on to Chicagoland?
Yeah, it would be massive. I'm hoping with the 2 wins now and the bonus points, we got a solid enough cushion to maybe not have to win, but I guess we still got to see who made it to this round, because there's some dogs left out there still. So I feel safe now, but it could come down to another must win in the next round. So we'll see. But yeah, man, just super stoked. 99, like you said. Been counting this down for a while. Been doing this for a while too. So, yeah, just been trying to get to that milestone really, and a side effect of that is we're moving on to the next round. So, just really happy.
Alrighty, well, another incredible drive. Any sponsors, plugs, and shoutouts you'd like to give?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like I said earlier, just all the Lake Norman guys there. Super fun, these plate races with them. The way we're able to work together, it just makes it really enjoyable. Another stat that nobody cares about and no one even knows except for me because I've been paying attention, but we managed to sweep every Dega race in the 25B season between Truck, Xfinity, Cup, and even 2003, with 1-2s in all of them. So, again, a stat nobody cares about, but all of us thought it was pretty cool, so figured I'd share that. Scott, Gavel, Caleb, my dad, Tate even. He couldn't make it tonight, but got the win for him. Just so fun racing with those guys. And yeah, John Cutlip also with JD Designs for painting all our cars. And you guys up here, Dave, James, Zach, doing the cameras, doing the commentary. Always fun watching these back, so appreciate it.
Alrighty, we appreciate you, Tyler, and hopefully we're talking to you again next week.
Yeah, man, appreciate it.
Well, that just about does it for us here, Zach.
It does, and unfortunately, it does not look like we have an official playoff update here. Still waiting on the results to get updated online and all of that, which I absolutely hate because, especially with all the shakeups we saw here with some of those playoff guys having poor finishes, I'd love to be able to go off the air and tell you exactly who is moving on to that round of 10, but unfortunately, I don't think we're going to have that luxury, and you're just going to have to keep an eye on the Elite Racing Network social media feeds. But yeah, I mean, I think I won't speculate. I'm not going to do math, but certainly, I would say the three guys we've heard from tonight at the end of this race for sure will be part of that picture when we get back on track here next week at the Nashville Super Speedway.
Race results just posted.
Sir.
That should give us some.
What was that, Dave?
Race results just got posted to Sim Racer.
Interesting.
Trying to see. Yeah, we got Fody, Reynolds, Trump, Cutlip, Stanley, Tooker, Bohr, Rawls, Weeks, and Wadsworth at the cut 10.
That would be 10. Yep.
Wadsworth at 1078 and Zach Novak at 1070. Age point. If I can look at that. Penalties are in. The bonuses are. Stage points are in.
So I think that is correct then.
Alrighty. Well, there you have it. And with that, I think it's time that we get the heck on out of here. For my broadcast partners, Zach Evans and Dave Huckleberry, I'm James Watson, and we will bid you adieu till next week. Have a good night, everyone.